This is Jason Anderson, Chairman of Killenly Town Council. It is currently 7:40, and we are back out of executive session. So we'll move on to item 15A, consideration and action on a resolution to authorize the town attorney to resolve the Dayville Property Development LLC tax appeal by entry into a stipulated judgment. Can I get a motion to adopt this resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Motion was made by Mr. Grandelsky, seconded by Ms. Wakefield. Discussion. Brian, if you could just go over this briefly, that way the public can hear.
The terms of the stipulated agreement would lower the appraised value from $14,900,000 to approximately $14,200,000, and lower the appraised value from approximately $10,400,000 to $9,940,000, generating a loss in annual tax revenue of approximately $10,000.
Could you just expound on,
Yep.
you know,
So I would summarize their business case for this appeal being a corporate strategy where they would evaluate, what are they paying for comparable properties that they're generating revenue on, and where there's red flags in that report, they would direct their staff to go dial in and generate an appraisal report that makes a compelling case for the valuation change. And essentially, it's not worth litigating over.
Thank you. Any other discussion, questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next item up on the agenda is item 15B, consideration and action on a resolution to authorize the town attorney to resolve the mill at Killenly Apartments LLC tax appeal by entry into a stipulated judgment. Can I get a motion to adopt this? Motion was made by Mr. Whitehead. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Murphy. Ryan, if you could go over this one as well.
Absolutely. So currently, the appraised value is approximately $2,800,000, and the assessed value is approximately $1,989,000. The stipulated judgment would result in an appraised value lowered to $2,300,000 and an assessed value of $1.6 million, creating a revenue loss of approximately $8,000 annually. The business case for this is different than the previous one. This is really predicated on the fact that we're dealing with a regulated economy in terms of this is a housing development that's affordable. They're constrained from generating additional income, and their expense ratio is higher than it would be if these were just market rate apartments.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. We'll now move on in the agenda. Next item up is council member reports and comments. Mr. Grandelsky, could you start?
With the Conservation Commission, they were here last week, and you heard, they gave you firsthand, step-by-step of what's going on over there. It's always a positive thing. We've got a number of properties, and they're managing them very well. And they're looking at having a bus tour in the fall. It's not put together yet, but that's going to be out there.
Thank you.
And Michelle, you can have the sewer.
Thanks, feel free to chime in, Ed. So the plant was running well, there were no violations, it's within budget. Most of it at this point is still in executive session. There was quite a bit of angst from some of the commission members to the staff about why is the moratorium taking so long, why are the negotiations taking so long? Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Cottula.
Well, Mr. Pallad went over the permanent building committee. Pretty much we had a couple meetings with that and walkthroughs and executive session, and it's getting challenging. Yes. I went to the historic commission meeting, and on September 27th they are having a dedication of a bench at Lions Park for Mary Keys, And Mary Keys is a Killenly resident and was considered by many to be the first woman to receive a U.S. pattern. And that was on the 5th of May in 1809 for weaving straw with silk and thread to make hats. So there's going to be some state representatives from Hartford over there and stuff for the, it's open to the public. It starts at 11 o'clock on Saturday the 27th.
Thank you. Ms. Wakefield.
Both Patty, George, and I attended the economic development. They appointed reappointed their officers for that board. They had discussions on almost setting where they wanted to go, what they thought was the three most important things for them to work on, and obviously the sewer moratorium was the top of almost everybody's list, because that does impact a lot. I mean, we've already turned away some businesses because we couldn't guarantee them wastewater. Oh, sorry about that. Other than that, there was a lot of other discussions on where they wanted to go. I know they brought up the discussion of working with the schools to develop like a pathway for students that, let's say, don't get into Ellis Tech but want to pursue the trades, just because that is an area in our economy that is high demand, and there's just not a lot of people that are going into that. And sometimes tradespeople make way more money than college-educated people. So if that's something you like to do, is work with your hands. I mean, we shouldn't just be limiting our students. So fortunately, the Board of Ed has actually sent a liaison to the last few meetings, and so they're working really close with the schools trying to set like pathways for that. Parks and Rec Commission does not meet on even months. Bucky did send out an update for the rec commissioners. I know Rah-Rahs brought in 1,800 with their Sunday specials for that help offset the fireworks costs. Camp Wallaby had a great safe summer. The sports camps were all well attended. Football in particular had over 60 youth come out for that 1 week. Youth Hoop is up and running. That's open registration. Last year they had almost 300 children playing in our youth hoops. The deadline for while it's open to Killenly and Brooklyn residents, the deadline before the price goes up is October 6th. But if you really, really, really want to play youth hoop, you need a lot of the teams fill up fast. They are also offering an instructional program and a preseason skills thing, all of which you can find on the flyer, like Brian alluded to, is out. And the Spooktacular, they made the announcement in the last few weeks. The Director of Tourism for the state of Connecticut, Rachel Lenda, is actually going to be the Grand Marshal, so she's going to be loaning all of her resources into promoting the Spooktacular and Trick or Treat on Main Street, and just let's come hang out in Killenly for the day. And so that's huge. It's a great way to promote. And a big thing, and not this weekend, but the next weekend at Owen Bell Park, they rescheduled the bike rodeo. It's in collaboration with Parks and Rec and the Killenly Police. It's open to all, and it's free to all Killenly children from 11 to 12:30. Helmets are required. They work on skills, and they talk about maintenance and bike safety. There's going to be a little obstacle course for the kids to do, and it's going to be at the track at Owen Bell Park. So it was one of the rec commissioners, Kevin Mahan, is very big into mountain biking, And so he's taken that love for biking and wants to kind of bring kids into riding safely, and biking is a great exercise, so that you can do for a really long time, so, so that's that.
Thank you. Mr. Whitehead, did you have anything? Thank you. Fiscal Subcommittee, Personnel Subcommittee didn't meet. I did have quite a few conversations with town staff as well as the town attorney in regards to all the complaints I was hearing regarding the signs on Upper Maple Street. And there was a lot of back and forth on looking into if the signs complied with zoning regs. There were some issues that were that we realized where there were some issues with the placement of the signs. That was addressed, and recommendation came back from the attorney for planning and zoning to look back at the zoning regs regarding signs and make them comply with more recent law, statutes, and case law. And the Cable Advisory Committee did not meet last month. They meet next week. And
Jason, since Ula's not here, I'll do a little bit on the PNC, but I didn't
Okay.
stay for the whole thing.
Okay.
You know, they've been rewriting that 570 ordinance, planned residential development. And after 2 packed houses of people saying we really don't want housing developments in rural zones in the middle of cornfields and forests, they took that out, and it matches the plan of conservation and development now. So you will have PRDs in your low density and your medium density and other places, but they removed that wording from the rural zones. You won't have PRDs in rural zones. And then they also were going to remove the prohibition on satellite sewers, and they took that wording out. So in order to have a planned residential development housing, you have to be tied into the sewer, which is different than your regular septic if you have an individual home or something. This is just for housing developments. So after that, I did not stay for the rest of it, but I think that's important. There was some confusion. I talked to a woman in the public who said, you know, it went to 3 houses per acre, and it did not. The 4 units per acre is out of rural development.
thank you. Seeing nothing further, we'll move on in the agenda. We have nothing further. We already met in executive session, so we'll move on to 18. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
A motion was made by Mr. Catula, seconded by Mr. Grandelski. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? This meeting is adjourned.